Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm your name. And today we're diving into some juicy drama surrounding Meri Brown from Sister Wives and her podcast, Salty Birches, co-hosted with none other than Jenn. This podcast has been getting some pretty mixed reactions, and we're about to break it all down for you. From the fans' love-hate relationship with it to the surprising twists and turns in the conversations. If you've been following Meri's journey, you know things have been anything but smooth lately. So what exactly is the deal with this podcast, and why is it causing such a stir? Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about the origins of Salty Birches. For those of you who may not know, Meri Brown, one of Kody Brown's wives from Sister Wives, teamed up with her best friend Jenn to launch this podcast. They've been friends for years, and their chemistry is undeniable. But the title, Salty Birches, definitely sets the tone for the kind of content they're delivering. From the title alone, you can tell they aren't holding back. Now, when this podcast first dropped, fans were curious, but also a bit skeptical. Meri, who's been in the spotlight for so long, is no stranger to public opinion, and she's faced a lot of scrutiny over the years. But this was a new side of her we hadn't really seen before. She's known for being a little more reserved, so a podcast where she and Jenn dive into real, unfiltered conversations was, well, unexpected. Now here's where it gets interesting. The reception to Salty Birches has been, well, let's just say mixed. Some fans absolutely love it. They find it refreshing to hear Meri speak her mind in a way that isn't edited or scripted. It's like we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at her life, beyond the drama of Sister Wives. But on the flip side, there are plenty of viewers who aren't too happy with what they're hearing. Some fans feel like Meri and Jenn are being overly critical, or even condescending towards others. There's a certain level of sarcasm and dry humor that's not sitting well with everyone. And it's not just the content. The way they interact with each other is also causing some controversy. For example, in one episode, they discuss the challenges of being in the public eye and how they handle criticism. While some listeners appreciated the honesty, others felt it came off as a bit too defensive or even dismissive. Meri's usually pretty calm and collected, but this new podcast persona is definitely stirring the pot. Another reason this podcast is getting so much attention is because of the ongoing Sister Wives drama. Meri has been in a strained relationship with Kody for a while now, and fans are always looking for hints about what's really going on behind closed doors. Some listeners have speculated that the podcast is a subtle way for Meri to vent her frustrations without directly addressing them on the show. Others think the podcast could be a way for Meri to redefine herself outside of her role as Kody's wife, especially after so many ups and downs. It's her chance to control her own narrative, which is something fans can't help but root for. But let's not forget, the show is still filming. And these real-life issues are often what keep fans coming back. Now let's talk about Jenn for a second. While Meri may be the more well-known name, Jenn is the real star of Salty Birches. She brings a different dynamic to the podcast. She's bold, outspoken, and not afraid to challenge Meri on some of her points. Some fans find their back-and-forth banter entertaining, while others think Jenn is a bit too harsh at times. Is the podcast becoming a salty commentary on her life, or is it just Meri being real? That's the big question here. And the responses? Well, they're all over the place. So what does the future hold for Salty Birches? It's tough to say. Meri and Jenn seem committed to continuing the podcast, and it's clear they're having a blast doing it. However, the backlash and the mixed reviews are something they'll have to navigate moving forward. Will they tone it down to appease the critics, or will they double down on their salty style? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, though, it's keeping us all talking. Whether you love it or hate it, Salty Birches is a podcast you just can't ignore. All right, folks, that's all I've got for today. What do you think about Meri and Jenn's Salty Birches podcast? Are you loving the candid conversations, or is it just too much drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update on all things sister-wise and beyond. I'll see you in the next video.